loneliness, conflict, and misalignment with the world through plainly.
From Japan with real words.
This is a podcast where talk calmly about real struggles and family issues.
This isn't an explanation.
Quite be heavy, feel the temperature of the words. 暗きないストールか
Firstly, a certain idol group avoid choosing very beautiful members. A certain idol group don't choose very popular, very beautiful girls. Because fan feel is more. They think fans can support them more than that way. But Nogizaka 46 choose beautiful members, and it worked well. That's very little strange. I thought idol group don't choose very beautiful members. They think big fans can support them more that way. But Nogizaka 46 choose beautiful members, and it worked well. I felt a little strange. Nogizaka 46 wanna be admired group. So even if they choose beautiful members, it fits their image. It fits their image. But I think, do men really admire idols? And I don't understand making idols a romantic target, because idols celebrity. Idols celebrity. Isn't it more attractive to like someone closer? For example, a classmate, a neighbor, or someone at work. I don't understand making idols a romantic target. Next, I looked up what people do if they graduate from art university, but cannot join an orchestra. I looked up what people do if they graduate from art university, but cannot join an orchestra. I was surprised that some people go into pop music, even though they can join orchestra. I was surprised that some people go into pop music, even though they can join the orchestra. I thought maybe studying Spanish and singing music. Studying Spanish and singing music could be a good goal. Studying Spanish is a good goal. When I'm studying Spanish, singing music, my goal is to be able to sing. My goal is to sing well. And I also felt that English doesn't suit Japanese people very well. I felt that English doesn't suit Japanese people. I heard that there are no nerves in the skin, and that pain might be illusion. I think pain is illusion. I heard there are no nerves in the skin, so pain might be illusion. I listen to stories about a violinist and space and a person who went to Iraq and all the incident. I listened to stories about a violinist, space, the person who went to Iraq, and all the incident. Next, in my dream, I try and talk to my parent when I was half, and I try to talk to my parent. Actually, I can talk with parent, my father. When I was half awake, I noticed I can't talk to my parent, and it made me feel sad. I heard about people who feel TV sound effect are too loud. I heard about people who feel TV sound effect are too loud. There may be many people like this. People with developmental disability may find it hard to watch TV. I've heard that many people like this might have developmental disorders. It's common among people with developmental disability. I think many people like this may have developmental disability. When I start listening to podcasts, I become dependent on them. When I start listening to podcasts, I become dependent on them. When I can't listen, it feels painful. I thought it was amazing that someone who was once in a gang is now helping solve bring problems. It was amazing that someone who was in a gang, but she quit gang, and he is now helping solve breathing problems. It's called ijime in Japanese. I also listen to talks about science and quantum theory, and an Indian restaurant owner. If I dislike a singer, if They have a famous song that everyone in Japan knows. I really dislike them very strongly. If I dislike a singer, and if they have famous song, I really dislike them. My mother was drying laundry, and the laundry was hanging down. I want to have a calm mind, but she made a same mistake more than 100. So I can't be calm. I can't have a calm mind. Henry was hanging down. So I want to have a calm mind, but I can't do that. Next, I have talks about loving animals and loving robot. I thought maybe it's not strange. Humans don't really have. There is no such things so as consciousness. I think consciousness doesn't really exist. So loving a robot can happen. In Japan, some people think dolls and robots have a soul. Especially some people think dolls have a soul. Dolls have a soul. Next, if I were on TV or radio, people would hype me up. If I were on TV, maybe people hype me up. People would hype me up. Maybe I would get carried away. I get carried away easily. I think I would get carried away and lose control, out of control. I wonder how entertainers, celebrities, stay sane. I wonder how entertainers stay sane. I have trauma from failing badly at the school performance. I have trauma from failing at the school performance. School performance, that was terrible. Next. There are illegal things that never disappeared. Even if people are harmed, the police don't act. Then people use illegal way to use it to fix it. I think this world can be very scary. There are illegal things that never disappear. Even if people are harmed, the police don't act. So then people use illegal way to fix it. I think the world can be very scary. Next, I can't record my podcast every day. I only do it once every 2 days. I only do it once every two days because I have nothing to talk about. Next, Asian people are not always discriminated against. Often they are just not noticed. Asian people are not always discriminated against. They are just not noticed. They are just not noticed. And Asian may not realize this. Asian may not notice this. It's terrible. Many people in the US and UK are interested in developmental disability. So maybe English is better. But if ability, I think ability is decided by genetics. So I should stop. I don't know which direction will help me get noticed. Help my podcast get noticed. Many people in the US and UK are interested in developmental disability. So maybe English is better. But if ability is decided by genetics, I should stop. Maybe I should stop. Next. I changed my clothes because they smelled, but the smell didn't go away. I changed my clothes because they smelled, but the smell didn't go away. I thought the futon was the problem, but the smell came from the clothes. I noticed smell came from the clothes. Smell didn't go away. I thought futon was the problem, but it wasn't. Smell came from clothes. I don't know. Next, I listened to stories from people who try being homeless, and from a magazine editor, I listened to stories from people who. I listened to stories from people who tried being homeless, and from a magazine editor. On podcast, I try not to find meaning in things. I try not to find meaning in things, but sometimes I think I should use my time for something. I try not to meaning in things, but sometimes I think. But I have a lot of time, so then I thought I should do net business, and I was doing. I find meaning in recording my podcast, but I try not to look for meaning in other time. I wanted to do philosophy and English study for the podcast. I find meaning in recording my podcast, but I try not to look for meaning in other time. I wanted to do philosophy and study English for the podcast, and The more I find meaning in the podcast, the more I regret not doing the things before I didn't record. So the more I find meaning in the podcast, the more I regret not doing things before. It's become hard to know what is important. It's not only about English, but also about life in general. It's become hard to know what is important. It's not only about English, but also about life in general. I want to use my I looked for things where I can use my English skills. I researched the way to use my English ability, and other way to spread my podcast. Beside social media, I researched the other way to spread my podcast. Beside social media, I also looked into using. I also looked into using AI to help the podcast next. I cannot understand team director who say who think because it is free, so I can do whatever I want. Adult should take responsibility just because it is free. Just because it is free doesn't mean that they can be careless. I can understand team director who think it is free, so I can do whatever I want. Adults should take this responsibility. Just because it is free doesn't mean they can be careless. I can focus on one thing for a long time. I notice things others don't notice. I can focus on one thing for a long time. I notice things others don't notice. I continue doing troublesome things persistently. I can focus on. I'm good at explaining my feelings and thought, and I can doing troublesome things persistently. I am good at explaining my feeling and thought. I'm not naturally good at English, so I sometimes regret starting it. I'm not naturally good at English, so I sometimes regret starting it. But I've continued. I've kept studying English, and repeating tedious tasks. I've kept learning English and doing repetitive, annoying tasks. So it would be a shame to stop now. But there are still many things I feel I'm not good at English. It would be a waste to quit now. However, there are also many things I feel I'm not suited for English. My mother said, my cousin's nephew visited my cousin's house for the first time in a while. I said to my mother, and I said, cousin's husband met recently, and she said, my cousin met for the first time in a while. And I said, they came out New Year. She said no. End of the year. She said no. She meant earlier December. It's same thing. It's terrible. No way. The explanation was not enough, and nuance was different. That's not quite the nuance I wanted. The explanation was not enough. I feel anxious that with AI improving speaking English on my podcast might lose its meaning. I feel anxious that with AI improving speaking English on my podcast might lose its meaning. Of course, when I speak myself, I can convey emotions, but there is no good way to input things naturally. I think English ability is cool, but that motivation is not natural. There is no good way to input things, and I think English ability is cool, but that motivation is not natural. Still, as a way to pass time, it's not wrong. But I have things to do now. Still, as a way to pass time, it's not wrong, and I have things to do now. Next, it's philosophy. Well, yesterday me, today me, people can feel I'm the same person. Because my memories are connected. If I change, it feels like the connection of memories may break. Yesterday me, today me, I can feel I am the same person because my memories are connected. If I change, it feels like the connection of memories may break. It feels like I would become a different person. It feels like I would become a different person. I feel safe when things don't change because I want to fix my temporary self even for a moment. So change easily makes me anxious. People feel safe when things don't change because people wanna fix their temporary self even for a moment. So change makes them anxious. Next, about personality. Personality is a collection of reaction to situations. It has no real fixed existence. I understand. I don't know. I can understand that nothing is fixed. There is nothing permanent. Nothing stays the same. But I think some things don't change because of genetics. Some things don't change because of genetics. It's just a difference between tendency and essence. A small difference in definitions can happen. A certain person, Hume, said that genetics are just conditions. But I think the difference between tendency and essence is not really important. Thank you for listening to follow this program again.